whole series, new series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just a month ago.
Yeah.
Great.
So, hi.
Hopefully it didn't get you on a list. I'm sure.
Restaurant. Well, this has been here for a while. We're never. This is
We're here to welcome the Republicans to town. Perfection. Superpower. Is that what says it's time to release your superpowers? Yeah. That's awesome.
Bees! Bees!
Wow. Big entrance. Just drove in.
Hello!
Now, are you from
In town. We're just carpooling.
Yeah, I can.
Everybody stay in focus! Well done!
How are you? Hanging in there.
Come join us! Come stay in focus!
Whether that's North Minneapolis, or it's Sri Lanka, or it's the Philippines, where Mel has just been. This is a group of people that go and they're like us, you know, they're peacemakers. So I asked Mel to come today to talk to us about what we can do. He's a professional at this. He can help us to understand how we can go into this huge event that's happening here and bring what we need to have it be what it needs to be for us. So Mel.
You know,
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Are you here today? Okay. Nice to meet you. Okay. You're welcome. Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
well, recently I had a milestone in my life. I learned how to do PowerPoint. Just when, a couple days after I learned it, I found out that PowerPoint had become downright annoying to most people. And so instead, I created a low-tech PowerPoint for tonight. And as I talk, if you'd start this around, Imam, I would like just to have it string through the crowd and for you to be able to look at the peacekeepers who are working around the world doing nonviolent peacekeeping. Mary Jane mentioned that I just returned from the Philippines, and I truly did. Monday night, I returned from the autonomous region of Mindanao, which many people think of the Philippines, but actually is an autonomous region of the Moro people, and is involved in a struggle with the Philippine government. While I was there was a major escalation of the war. We have a team of trained nonviolent peacekeepers who have been there for 15 months, invited by local civil society. What that means is invited by the grassroots organizations of Mindanao to provide peacekeeping and protection so that the human rights defenders and the peace builders, the people like us who are there, can do their work and stay alive. Now, when I showed up there, I don't think this is a cause and effect, but major fighting broke out. And we don't read about this. I mean, we read about Georgia, as Mary Jane said, where, as tragic as it is, there's about 150,000 displaced people. When I left Mindanao on Monday, there were 300,000 displaced people. And the government was shelling communities and bombing communities. And I was on one island, Basilan, where our partner organizations said, you know, we've never seen an American on this island before. And then one of her colleagues spoke up and said, oh yeah, there's the 8 Marines. There's the 8 U.S. Marines who are with the Philippine Army 15 kilometers down the road. And a week ago, Tuesday night, I sat at night and watched the sky light up as the artillery as the communities were being shelled. I wear this vest, which is part of the uniform that our peacekeepers wear there. And what they're doing right now, because it's already Friday morning in Mindanao, is providing protection to the civilians who have been caught in the crossfire and taking them out of harm's way, and providing that strategic protection so that they will not be part of the so-called collateral damage. So one of the things that I'm here to say to you tonight and to reinforce in all of you is that nonviolence works. Nonviolence works in some of the most violent places in the world today. Now, I'm not talking about just doing witness or being shields. I'm talking about strategic applications of, as Dr. King used to say, a force more powerful. And the project in Mindanao is headed up by a man by the name of Atif Hamid. Atif comes from a Sufi nonviolent tradition, from an Islamic nonviolent tradition, which is a phrase that we have to repeat over and over again in this country.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes.
Yes.
And there is a strong nonviolent tradition within Islam. And he is there directing that project. Half our team are people who are Muslim. Nonviolence works. It's not just a pie-in-the-sky dream. It's in the mud, walking with civilians who are caught because they're being bombed out of their homes, with civilians like you and I providing peacekeeping, that protection, so that they can live. I look over and I see my friend Tom Kennedy, who's here. And if you didn't see his balm, B-A-L-M, on his vehicle out there to balm the Republican convention. Tom has just won a settlement from his arrest.
I haven't won. It's pending.
Oh, you told me you won.
No, well, no, it's an ongoing lawsuit that happened from an incident that happened 4 years ago at the RNC in New York City. I wouldn't have believed it if it didn't happen to me or a dear friend told me, but I was one of the 1,800 people who were preventatively arrested. We were arrested before we could break any laws. It's a new thing in the United States, preventative arrest. And there's an ongoing lawsuit amongst many of the people who had their constitutional rights taken away. It's a relatively complex thing, but you can imagine that New York has already offered a sum of $5,000 to settle, and the reality is for us to prevent this kind of behavior from happening in the future, we have to hold them to account. And I have pledged any proceeds that I get from this lawsuit to the Nonviolent Peaceforce. So when this is settled, everything I get, I'm giving to them. And as a matter of fact, given that I had to jump out and do that little explanation, I would like to present to Mel Duncan and the Nonviolent Peaceforce the proceeds from false arrest lawsuit. And in the memo form of this check, I put, I say yes to the Nonviolent Peaceforce.
Thank you, Tom. And 5 years ago, Tom was the one who came up with our tagline, which is what you can say yes to when you say no to war. That there are very strategic and well thought out ways of dealing with violent conflict that don't involve the gunships, that don't involve the artillery shelling that I was witnessing a week ago tonight.